website. Put in your own words.
Here's a question for you, Guy. It's a very simple question for you. So how is it, when you think about other candidates, okay, everybody has a stereotype. You have a reputation whether you like it or not. What's your reputation? Your reputation is you like to text underage girls, and you like to talk to girls, and you sex sending pictures of your dangling. That's your reputation.
What's happening, everybody? In today's video, Patrick Bet David welcomed disgraced ex-Congressman Anthony Weiner onto his show, the PBD Podcast. There was little time for friendly banter when Patrick Bet David brought up an off-limits topic about the Clintons that set off Anthony Weiner into a screaming tirade. With that, let's find out what Patrick Bet David did that angered the flasher, Anthony Weiner, to the point that he was yelling at everyone within earshot. Let's go.
You defended Hillary Clinton on who she was when it comes down to politics. Are you still close to that family?
I'm not.
Okay. So who do you think between the two was a better politician? You think Bill's the better politician? Do you think Hillary's the better politician?
I don't think Hillary was a particularly good politician.
Okay, so she's a better strategist, you would say. She's more strategic, power.
She is a classic blooming where she's potted kind of public official.
Yeah.
Everything that she has been given to do. I watched her, as a rookie elected official come into New York and become an amazing senator. I watched her at Secretary of State be like she blooms where she's potted. She knows government well. She's smart as a very, very smart person.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that it's hard. I think it was hard for her to get her sea legs, being the first woman candidate of a major party. I think it was hard for her to get her sea legs in the framing of Bill Clinton's wife. I think it was a lot of things, a lot of challenge she faced that you and I would not face on the campaign.
Do you think she's a good person?
I do.
Okay, so when we announced the fact that we're interviewing you, we kind of crowdsource with the audience what questions do you want to ask, and then our research team will go and say, hey, is there any credibility to this or not? And then we don't waste our time. So hey, we're having Anthony Weiner on. Great. So you have to ask him about Frazzle Drip. Go look it up. Oh, this video is a deep fake. No, any credibility to it on what happened with Hillary Clinton, Huma, and all this stuff? Nope, we're not going to ask him about that because I don't yet see a real source. A lot of it was stuff that, conspiracy, all this stuff that's being said. We're not going there. Yeah, you need to ask him about Pizzagate, because that's exactly what's going on with kids. Yeah, no, we're not going there. That's not something we're going to be asking him about. Yeah, you need to ask him about this, and you need to ask him about this. I said, okay. All of these things that they said we have to ask you about. To be fair, it's Bill Clinton officiated your wedding with Huma, your wife, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
So you've been very close, and your wife, is it still wife or is it ex-wife? I think it's separated since 2017, right?
We're separated. We co-parent Jordan, but we're separated.
Okay. And, she was a right-hand person to Hillary Clinton in 2016 while the scandal was taking place.
For years before that, she was with Hillary for 20 years.
And the whole thing with the life insurance, the email, 650,000, the one folder with the word life insurance and the files that are in there. So the next thing that people said, you got to ask him is the following. So, Rob, if you can pull up this story, I'm not going to buy into this one. Well, 9 out of 12 cops, NYPD.
So this interview is about to get really good. For those of you who don't know or might not remember exactly who Anthony Weiner is, I want to give a very brief history of his career and different things that happened in his life so you have some context for the rest of this very explosive interview. So he was a congressman out of New York, lefty, of course, super progressive, the kind of person I'd roll my eyes at today and shake my head. But being that it was New York, he was a well-liked member of Congress. So in 2011, he accidentally posted a picture of his on Twitter and resigned from Congress due to that incident. And as embarrassing as it is, you might say, well, it was a mistake, The only problem is the picture wasn't intended for his wife. So strike one. But I guess Democrats have a short memory, because in 2013, he was running for mayor of New York. And as a matter of fact, I remember seeing a documentary about his triumphant return and his run for mayor in New York. But unfortunately for Weiner, during that mayoral run and in the middle of that documentary, another picture of his surfaced Again, not intended for his wife. And that was the final strike for old Anthony Weiner in politics. Then 3 years later in 2016, another picture of his showed up. This guy has a compulsion or something. Now, this time was a little different because not only was this one not intended for his wife, it was intended for a minor. So in 2017, he pled guilty to transferring obscene material to a minor. And as he should have been, he was sent to prison. So not a sterling reputation for Anthony Weiner. That's the background. Let's get back to the video.
Who saw the email and saw what was in that laptop, committed suicide. And it was, 7 of them since June, and it was the most ever that this took place. And these are the men that committed suicide. So then we went and looked it up, and we're like, no, they did commit suicide, but it wasn't linked directly to seeing the laptop or the intel there. No problem. So again, no credibility there. So there's no reason to ask you the question about the 9 out of 12 cops that saw it.
You shouldn't even be listing them and giving it oxygen.
No, my job is to listen because I like to read.
No, list them. You shouldn't be listing these things.
Well,
these things
it is what it is.
Destructive. People have actually
these
had
are conspiracy theories. These are conspiracy theories that
all
some
that have
people,
books about them, though.
Right.
That I wouldn't
but the one thing that we did look up that wasn't a conspiracy theory was the following. And this is the one that's kind of weird. And first thing I ask myself is, how the hell is our guy here, Anthony Weiner, still alive? What do you mean by that? Well, when you go through the list of people that have been close to Hillary Clinton and the Clintons and the death pool, this is not a conspiracy. You got the names of James McDougal, okay, Clinton's convicted Whitewater partner, died of an apparent heart attack. Mary Mahoney, a former White House intern, was murdered July 1997 at a Starbucks coffee shop in Georgetown.
Ron Brown, he died in a plane crash.
Vince Foster
What is this?
Vince Foster was the next one. By the way, the James Dougal was a key witness in a key Ken Starr
Ron
investigation.
Brown was in a plane crash. Why is he on the list?
Ron Brown is another one, but there was a close person to this. Victor Razor. You got Paul Tooley, Ed Woolley.
Wait a minute. You're reading a list of people that Bill and Hillary Clinton knew. They're 80. They're 70-something years old.
I'm asking you this question. I'm asking you this question and an answer at the end. So you got Jerry Parks, Jane Bunch, James Wilson, Kathy Ferguson, Bill Shelton, Candy Bow, Florence Martin, Susan Coleman, Paula Grober, Danny Casolero, Paula Wilker, John Parnell Walker, Barbara Weiss. We should verify this yourself because you're running a radio show. You should look it up.
I don't know any of these
Dr.
names,
Stanley Hurd, Barry Beal, Barry Seal, Johnny Longhorn,
Can you read me the URL you're reading? Can you read me the URL you're reading?
We'll send you the most credible source you can look it up.
Let your listeners know what you're reading.
We'll put the link below. We'll put the link below.
Just tell me so I know what I'm responding to.
Friday, Kevin Ivey, Dan Henry, Keith Coney, and these were part of the Ivy Henry case. Keith McCaskill.
What's the Ivy Henry case?
You can look it up. Ivy Henry case. So Gregory Collins, Jeff Rhodes, James Milland, Richard Winter, and then you got the close bodyguards, Major William Barkley, Captain Scott Reynolds, Brian Hanley, Tim Sable, General William Robertson.
You don't even know what you're reading a list of. How is this
Densberger, Robert Kelly, Colonel Gary Rhodes, Steve Wills, Robert Williams, Conway LeBlue, Todd McKeon. I'm done. It's 46 names. And
of what? Can you read me the list? Can you read me the URL so I know what you read a list of? When I
finish this, stillinthestorm.com. You can look it up.
Stillinthestorm.com.
You can look it up.
This is your big moment, guys.
Yeah, so you can go. And by the way,
ads about chemtrails at the end of it.
He hasn't even asked the question.
By the way,
he's just reading the article.
He's reading a list of names.
So
he hasn't even asked the question. It's a list.
The fact that you're getting nervous is an answer.
It's not nervous. This stuff makes me sick when you repeat these
makes us sick as well. It also makes us sick.
It obviously doesn't.
Of course, because the establishment makes us sick.
You start the question by reading a list of well-founded
Your reaction is an answer.
Conspiracy. I know these things make me sick, and people have gotten killed.
Your reaction is an answer.
Someone went into a pizza parlor in Washington because they believe this shit, and you're making an echo chamber.
Your reaction is an answer. So let me go to it here now.
No.
Your
reaction
You're not going to
read a list. Yeah, my reaction is my reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you tell me what that list, in your view?
You haven't allowed me to finish. If you allow me to finish the question,
because you're reading 46
then
random
you can
names
do
off the internet
whatever you want.
Of some fucking insane website.
Hey, if you like watching videos like these, like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
I love your answer.
And these people who you don't even know who they are, you're reading them on a list of something, making some kind of as if it's somehow suspicious. You don't even know who these human beings are, who have families, who are like out there, and now
I'll spend the next 2 hours with you, one by one, explaining to each individuals are if you want to do that.
How about you pick one? Pick one and tell me who he was and what his story was.
Tom.
No, not you. You were asking me the question. Pick one name and then tell me.
Pull up Vince Foster if you want.
No, Vince Foster, that suicide has been investigated 50 times. Pull up one of the obscure names you pulled. Why did you pull Ron Brown? Here, let me read Ron Brown. Ron Brown, a Commerce Secretary who a plane crashed while he was on a humanitarian mission, crashed into the side of a mountain. So what do you want to know about Ron Brown? What do you want to know about Ron Brown?
Can you let me ask the question?
No, listen, this is a conversation.
No.
We're having a conversation.
I'm sorry. I'm the host. You invite me to your podcast. You get to ask the question. I'm the host.
I'm
going to ask you the question. You haven't let me answer the question.
I didn't see
your reaction is already an answer.
I know. I am infuriated by people who drag other people's names who are powerless. You're not powerless.
Hillary Clinton is powerless?
No, these people.
Hillary Clinton is powerless.
These people.
That's the problem.
These people.
Hillary's the problem.
You read a list of people because you have the power to do it. People who do that are bullies, and I don't appreciate bullies.
I have the power to do what?
You do. To read a list of some stranger's name.
I have the power to use the DOJ and other things to control and hide things.
That's not DOJ.
Yeah.
DOJ didn't make this list.
Let me finish up my question.
Some jackass made a list in his basement.
You have the right to
You're reading
answer.
their names as if they're incriminating in some way.
You have the right to
That's
answer.
bullying, and I don't appreciate. And I stand up against bullies.
Please do so.
He hasn't even asked the question yet,
He's
Anthony.
reading a list and he's refused. And now he says, "Let's move on."
No.
Because I set your answer already.
Nobody has said move
He
on.
hasn't
You're
even asked the
panicking.
question. I don't even know what the question is.
Pick a name.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Reading
and you get to
list
answer
of people who
or
probably
not answer.
And there are some of those people that had military titles in front of them, and you're dragging their name.
Even the point.
You're dragging their name through
the point.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Because their families would want to know.
Because you've got a podcast.
Some of their families would want to know.
Some conspiracy theory podcast, some conspiracy theory that 9 people read. You find some guy that comes in, and then you go from Ron Brown to some obscure officer that used to protect Bill Clinton, who passed away. May he rest in peace for his service.
May all of them rest in
and
peace.
you are dragging them into some wacky conspiracy theory.
May all of them rest in peace. So here's the question for you, because millions of people are not convinced Hillary Clinton is a good person.
Again, with the other people, millions
including
of people.
Myself. If you want to do that, I'm not
put the questions in your
worried
own.
about.
Don't try to make it about some bozo who put up a website. Put in your own words.
Here's a question for you, Guy. It's a very simple question for you. So, how is it when you think about other candidates? Okay. Everybody has a stereotype. You have a reputation whether you like it or not. What's your reputation? Your reputation is you like to text underage girls and you like to talk to girls and you sex sending pictures of your dangling. That's your reputation. Whatever you do, you can't do anything about it. Adam has a reputation. Adam is a playboy in Miami.
You better get back to that list of strangers you read a list of.
Trust me, I'm getting back to it. Tom's got a reputation. His reputation is a man who
And right now,
loves
your
his wife.
reputation is listing strangers who served in the military and dragging their name through the
I have a reputation to ask tough questions and piss some people like you off. That's my reputation.
Including dead people who I'm going to stand up for.
Oh, trust me, we are standing up for them more than you are standing up for them.
Let's see. You better get back to that list because we're going to clear some people's names today.
My question for you is, how is it that in the last 50 years, we don't have a single candidate? Everybody has their own. Hey, John F. K. was a playboy with Marilyn Monroe. Trump, Karen McDougal, Stormy Daniels. You know, George Bush linked to 9/11 and weapons of mass destruction. Bill Clinton linked to Arkansas women, all this others. Everybody has a reputation. How is it that the reputation that follows them is people close to them die? Why is that a story that many people believe in? Why is that?
Are the Clintons in their 70s yet? You don't think I can make a list of other people who are 70-something years old and say this person died, that person died, this person died? Hold on.
How come they haven't done that with Bush? He's in the same age.
I have no freaking idea why they haven't.
How come they haven't done that with Trump?
You see why I thought this would be a good video? There's so much here, I don't even know where to start. The first thing that comes to mind is, if I hadn't told you that this guy was a liberal, you would have known very quickly into the interview, because the second PBD brought up something that he didn't like, he started yelling, cursing, getting emotional. How did this guy get so many chances at high levels in public service? He is completely unhinged. This is nuts. This guy has so many unlikable characteristics. So PBD brings up this list of people that were very close with the Clintons and says this looks kind of suspicious, and he just freaks out. First question is, why are you freaking out? Like, he's not attacking you personally. And you had just said you're not even that close with them anymore. My guess is that's not the reason he's getting upset. My guess is that PBD is on to something and he doesn't want to cross the Clintons. And when PBD says there are millions of people that think Hillary is a bad person, and he's like, where did you get that? And he's like, well, I think that. He's like, just speak for yourself. Is this idiot pretending that there aren't tens of millions of people that think Hillary Clinton is a monster? The cringiest thing so far is him saying, you're being a bully and I stand up to bullies. There's so many things wrong with that douchey statement. Who is he bullying? If anything, he's trying to expose some of the most powerful people in the world. Then he says, some of those people on that list have military titles. What does that have to do with anything? And then he accuses PBD of attacking people that can't defend themselves, the families of these deceased people. I'm no expert in human psychology, but I would think that if there was foul play involved with these families' loved ones, the truth would be more important to them than Patrick Bet David asking a question. Anthony Weiner's, again, reaction, his response, acting like he's standing up for these families of people who have passed away for some reason. You can tell it was a last-minute, sloppily prepared response to this question. Because, and how about when he kept saying, what's the URL? What's the URL? That's really irrelevant. I understand wanting to know, like, where's that coming from? But it's not about you, first of all, the list. And if in his mind it's just truly a ridiculous thing to even suggest, then at the most, maybe you'd say, come on, man. There's absolutely no evidence to any of that. That's about the height of emotion you get to. Why is he screaming and yelling and pretending like he's a white knight for the families of these deceased people? Anyway, I hope you guys are loving this as much as I am. It is a mystery, though, how someone with this temperament didn't make it really far in politics. Guess we'll never know why. Oh, yeah, well, there was that whole thing that he likes to show his hot, juicy meat off to unsuspecting people on Twitter or on their phones. That could be part of it, too. Let's get back to the video.
So are you saying, so you agree with what I'm saying?
How come they haven't done that with Reagan?
So
how come they haven't done that with Kerry?
What point are you making about these men and women who you listed?
How is it so many people close to them died? How is it so many people close to them?
Everybody dies.
How is
are
it
you
so
suggesting?
Many
Okay.
I'm asking the question.
You're asking a bizarre question.
Exactly.
Did people
pissing
die?
You off.
Did people die? No. What pisses me off, and I'm going to say this again because you apparently are not listening to me. You had a list of people off an obscure website that of conspiracy theory, taking a Venn diagram of everyone that ever worked in the orbit of someone who served in public life for 50 years, and you listed them, including people in the military, including strangers you could not pull out of a, and you are implying that there's something nefarious. Let me finish my thought. Let me finish my thought.
Please do so, because I got another source coming in here for you.
You're implying both with the question and with the website. The website says it explicitly. You're implying it. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
You're implying that something. You are implying
until he's done. Go for it.
You are implying that something nefarious is afoot both with the question and with the list. Hillary Clinton, she's a big girl. I'm a big boy. You're a big boy. The people that you just listed.
They're all.
Listen to me. No, these are obscure people that you could not pull out of.
Great politician, buddy.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Fantastic.
You know what? You are the classic bully. You list someone's name. Are you going to go back and clarify?
Anybody that's the
are
bully,
you going to go
you.
clarify?
You know what the
are you going to
qualities of your
clarify
personality
this list?
is. You want to really know that.
Ad hominem attack on me is going to somehow
Classic
clear that
bully.
person's name?
There isn't anybody at this table that's a bigger bully than you.
I tell you. Oh, yeah? You just listed some stranger with
Very
PFC.
good, deceptive way of pinning. Good
Look
for
at
you guys.
You're reading some.
Good for you.
You're reading a conspiracy website.
Good for you.
Some people say. Some people say.
Pull up the
Look at that
Wikipedia
fucking
Rob
website.
I just sent to you. Pull up the Wikipedia. Is Wikipedia a conspiracy website?
You want to take?
No.
You want to take a run at me? Bring it all day, pal.
Hey,
bring it all day.
Sweetheart.
Take a run.
Clinton body count.
Conspiracy theory. Right at the top. Wait, can I throw a mic I can drop? Conspiracy, right at the top.
What's the point with that?
The point is conspiracy theories are by their very definition unsubstantiated.
How come other people don't have this conspiracy theory? How come Reagan doesn't have this conspiracy theory?
Oh, wait a minute.
How come Bush doesn't have this conspiracy theory?
On the PBD podcast,
How come John Kerry doesn't have this conspiracy theory?
Oh, wow, really?
Why do they, though? Some of the stereotypes are true. Like you have some reputation. It's true, some of it. Some of the stuff they say about other people
That's
is
not
true.
a stereotype. That's a made-up story about strangers.
How come others don't have that made-up story?
People have it all the time.
No,
Look
no.
at the internet.
Give me another body count with another president or candidate. Give me
Do
another person.
you really think that someone
Pull up-
within the
do me a favor
do
and
you
pull
really
up another
think
Barack Obama body count.
Do you really think? Oh, you go. Why don't you go to Barack Obama, not born in this country? By the way, where was that podcast? Did you guys do that one?
No, that's never anything we
Why?
discussed.
Oh, why? Oh, come on. Some people say it.
Anthony,
there's a
you're
there's a Wikipedia thing on it. Huh. These people are strangers that you just read a list of, and I think out of deference to them,
You're a dark human being, guy. You're
settle
pretty
down,
dark.
pal. Settle down.
No. You're
You
pretty
should cut
dark to
that
take
list
the
out.
angle you did. You're
You should
exactly.
listen to me. You're talking toughness now.
Oh, okay.
You should cut that list out of those
Sure,
people. We can still have
absolutely.
the argument. You and I are big boys.
Absolutely.
Cut that list out.
I'm not going to be cutting that list because the world
That's
needs.
right.
Here's what everybody
Yeah,
needs
the
to.
world needs that poor person's family that you can't even name.
Exactly. That some people say, what does it matter now? They're
Some
dead.
people say.
What does it matter now?
Some
They're
people
dead. Can
say.
you play that clip again?
Famous podcast
Play
host
that
says
clip
some
again.
people say.
Play that clip again. What does it matter now? What does it matter now?
These people.
What does it matter
change
now?
the subject all you want. Anyone who read that list
no one's
is
changing the
still
subject.
waiting for you to come back
Do you
on this and
realize,
apologize
do you
to those
realize
people.
why some people
Apologize to
do
those
you
people.
realize why some people
You should
are
apologize to those people.
Why do you keep saying that? What does he need
Because
to
those
apologize
people,
about?
listing those people on some obscure website as if something about their death was shrouded in some kind of a mystery dishonors
this
their
is-
memory. Now,
this is
if
fantastic.
you are Hillary Clinton
Fantastic.
if you are Hillary Clinton or Anthony Weiner, that
Yeah.
may sound fine. If you are some
Make it
person,
bigger, please.
if you are some person who has one of these jackasses on the internet showing up
Yeah.
at their doorstep
Yeah.
saying, "Tell me about the
Make
death
it
of your
bigger.
father. How did Hillary Clinton?" We had someone walk into a pizzeria in Washington with a gun because of assholes like
I've
this.
heard that phrase before by other people. Play it again. Play it again. I've heard this phrase a
By the
couple
way, what's
times.
the whole Benghazi? Let's get the whole
With all due
Benghazi.
respect,
No, it's the phrase.
The fact is, we had
No,
4
let's watch the
dead
Benghazi.
Americans. Was it
It's the
because of
phrase.
a protest, or was it because of
You got a
guys
good
out for a
script.
walk
You
one night
disagree
decided
with
to
this?
go kill some
You
Americans?
disagree with her
Listen
point
to the
here?
script.
Difference at
Play
this
that again.
point
Play that
doesn't
three
You
times.
make-
disagree with this
Play
point?
that from the 10-second mark. Not from
Yeah,
that mark.
play it from the 1 second mark so we really get
right
context.
There, right there. Go play it right
Play
there.
it from the 1/10
Go
of a
ahead.
some
second mark.
Americans. What difference at this point does it
Yeah,
make?
that's what you
Yeah,
sound
let's
like.
let's hear it.
What a script.
Let's
You're
hear it.
duplicating it very
Let's
well.
hear.
You're
Let's hear.
duplicating that
By the way,
script
do you
very
disagree
well.
with her point?
Of course I do.
You do?
Of course
that
I
it
do.
matters whether it was a protest that came
course
from Libya to that family.
Do you know-
to that family? And by the way, do you know why she cleaned the Republicans' clock in that hearing? Because she talked about how many
Clean
times
the clock? She
Yeah.
ain't a president, guy. That's cleaning the clock. The American people cleaned her clock.
No, in the Benghazi hearing.
Yeah.
Focus.
Why do you think she's not a
Focus.
president?
Focus.
Why do you think
the
she's not a
Benghazi
president?
hearing.
The
Focus.
American people
You bring
cleaned
up
her
the
clock.
clip and then you want to change it to 2006. Let's talk about
Yo,
that clip
what
for a
she
second.
did to the Republicans. So going back to it, here's what you're doing right now, which is fantastic. You just
you don't
influenced
believe that, do
a
you?
lot of people to go do their own due diligence. You just influence a lot
Oh,
of
you
people
can
to go do their own
find
due
you can
diligence.
find
Go
utter
do it.
dirt. No, you did
Find
that,
out
pal.
for yourself. No,
I saw what you did by listing the conspiracy theories you're not going to ask about.
I'm not
I
going
saw
to
what
ask
you
about
did.
those things.
I'm sorry, that was dishonorable.
Yeah, that's which part's dishonorable?
The list of conspiracy theory you know is bullshit, but still putting
Yeah,
it out there.
This thing, there's a lot of
I think
credibility sources
people
behind
want
this. A
bullshit's
person-
not true. Look at what
Yeah.
you had to cite. Cite any media that you would ever read in your day-to-day life for that. Cite
Yeah.
anything. Go call one of those people.
still
Have
can't
one of-
answer questions,
Have
can
one
you?
of your No, you make a point now. I'm responding to it. Have one of your producers call up one of those families and tell them if they want to be listed in one of these conspiracy podcasts.
You're so sweet for saying that. You're so sweet for playing this deceptive game. I got to tell you from watching you for
Have
the
you
last.
do that?
I got to tell you.
I know
from
this is not what you're
the-
used to,
the-
man. I'm sorry. It's funny. I texted with someone. Should I give them what they're used to, or should I, whatever? And they said just whatever.
You know
moves
how I
in
knew
the
who you
moment.
were the moment you walked here? You know how I knew who
You
you
don't
were
like
when you
because I
walked in
disagree
here?
with you,
Let
man.
me tell you.
We
no,
have
no,
too much of this
No,
in
no, no.
politics.
Let me tell you who you are, guy.
Media,
Here's who you are.
this is good media. You're getting good content.
This is who you are. You walk up here and you said, "What's your name?"
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that.
No. You said, "What's your name?" And then you say, "I call my friends to say, should I give these guys this?" You know the name, you know the show, but you're
No.
the typical
I was
elitist,
trying to find if
arrogant
you use your whole
guy that's
first
like,
name.
hey, so it's like the
I
player, but like,
apologize.
what's your name?
I
Because
apologize.
you're above everybody
No,
else as an
I
elitist.
apologize.
You position yourself as an
I
elitist
didn't
from
know
the
if
first
you
second,
used-
and I was willing to give you a fair shake.
I apologize.
You walked off as an asshole, and
No,
boom, that's what you're
I
getting.
apologize. I
Yeah.
apologize. I didn't know if you used the shortened version of your name. I should have researched that and
No,
listened
you
to how
didn't
other
say
people
that.
do it.
You said, what's your name?
I know, but to see if you would give me a hint about what you say.
and then
People
when
do
I
it with
said-
me when
no,
I
no,
do Tony or
I got
Anthony.
a good memory
I
like you do,
apologize.
guy. You said, what's your name?
apologize.
I said Patrick. Then you ask, do you prefer Pat or Patrick? If you
I
knew
was
my
trying
name
to
is
be-
Patrick, you would have eliminated one of the questions and you would have asked. So the point is, and by the way,
I was
here's
hoping
the part.
you'd identify yourself.
I identify
You're
myself
right. I
as a
apologize.
male, as a father, as an entrepreneur.
I
But to
apologize.
go back to your question.
I apologize. Do you accept my amends?
From
I apologize.
Sure,
for
I
that.
respect
I
the game.
apologize for that.
But the point I'm making to you is if you come in like that and I'm asking you a question, you react
You're
the way
reading
you
too
do.
much into it. You're reading too much. I apologize for that. That was socially wrong
Yeah.
of me to do. I was trying to learn whether you go by Pat or Patrick. I apologize. I could have asked one of your I could have asked people. I apologize for that.
Anthony,
and I hope you accept my amends for that.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you
Is this guy maybe one of the fakest tough guys you've ever seen in your life? At one point when Anthony Weiner was white knighting, he said, "You and I are big boys." No. Anthony. PBD is a big boy. You are barely a big girl. Beyond what I've told you about Anthony Weiner thus far, I don't know anything else about him. But I would place a very sizable bet that this guy has never been punched in the face in his entire life. If he had been, this would not be his personality. You can tell he's a giant. Long video, but I hope you're still with me and I hope you thought it was worth it. And I'll end with this today. So Patrick Bet David was a class act. He didn't even mention the one thing that Anthony Weiner is known for more than anything, the fact that he loves to put his hot, juicy, plump, delicious on display for everyone to see, until Anthony started screaming at him and calling him a bully and yelling at him. So I have no problem with PBD bringing it up. In fact, I thought it was hilarious. And you notice Anthony Weiner had nothing to say because there is nothing to say. He's right. So obviously the weird thing is, why would Anthony Weiner, who says he's not very close with the Clintons anymore, but he was very close at one time, his wife's very close with Hillary Clinton. The main question is, why would this upset him so much? Because PBD is just asking a question about the Clintons. So while the majority of this is hilarious, I just love this video. This guy is such a clown. His reaction is funny, but if you really think about it, it's scary, because his reaction lends more credibility to the fact that PBD is probably onto something. And let me be very clear. I've always thought that Bill and Hillary Clinton are evil, power-hungry, greedy monsters. But what I've seen here in this unhinged psycho's reaction, I don't think we'll ever know fully, although I pray to God that it's exposed someday, but I don't think we'll ever know the full depths of their depravity. So that's why I say it's scary. There are some evil, evil people in this world. So on that note, that's it for today's video. If you like watching unhinged, leftist, woke psychos lose their mind, then click on one of the two videos that just popped up on your screen. Otherwise, as always, I really appreciate you being here. The end.